Registered representatives offer securities through Independent Financial Group LLC, IFG, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representatives offer advisory services through Independent Financial Group LLC, IFG, a registered investment advisor. Cornerstone Wealth Management, Allianz Life, and IFG are unaffiliated entities. The information and opinions presented are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. You should contact your investment representative, attorney, accountant, or tax advisor with regard to your individual situation. The opinions of the presenter do not necessarily reflect those of Independent Financial Group LLC, its affiliates, officers, or directors.
If you're nearing retirement or worried if what you've saved is going to last, then this is the podcast for you. Now let's join Cornerstone co-founder Jamie Avila for the Cornerstone Retirement Blueprint Podcast.
Welcome to the Cornerstone Retirement Podcast. My name is Jamie Avila. I am the managing partner of Cornerstone Wealth Management. And as you've tuned in the past few weeks, you understand that we cover a wide variety of financial topics. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Rebecca Woodstruff from Allianz Life. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me today, Jamie.
Should we be formal, Rebecca, or is it Becca?
You call me Becca. I'm not a Rebecca. Let's
just
be
Becca
honest.
It's Becca today, everybody. Well, we appreciate you coming today, and we appreciate you spending some time with us. So, as I mentioned, you worked for Allianz, and one of the leading providers, at least some of our partners, in the fixed annuity space in the country. Could you tell our listeners maybe a little bit about Allianz and how your company helps people meet their retirement goals?
Absolutely. So, Jamie, as an independent advisor, you can recommend any product or carrier that best meets your customers' needs, and it is worthy of you and your clients' trust, right? So the first thing that I would want you to know and your clients is that at Allianz, we take our responsibility to earn and keep that trust extremely seriously. Allianz has consistently been one of the highest rated carriers in the fixed index annuity space, as you know, and those financial strength ratings are driven by our very disciplined investment philosophy that focuses on stability, reliability, and long-term results. This helps Allianz guarantee the benefits that we offer and protect the money your clients entrust to our care. Remember, a product is only as strong as the company behind it. So I'll reiterate that with Allianz, a promise is a promise. I would also tell your listeners that Allianz Life was actually founded in 1896, and we serve over 3.7 million contract owners. We provide innovative financial products, and that includes life insurance, fixed index annuities, and indexed variable annuities. We're part of a global financial powerhouse. Our parent company, Allianz SE, is actually the third largest diversified insurance company in the world based on assets, and we serve 85 million customers in over 70 countries.
That's amazing. I mean, when we look at partners in this industry, that's one of the reasons why we have chosen Allianz, is because it's important to have an A+ rated carrier, because you want them to be able to fulfill the promises that they make to their policyholders. And so that's one of the reasons why we use them. But you mentioned innovation, and in my experience, Allianz has brought many new ideas to the market that address a variety of risks that consumers face. Tell me a little bit about the innovation that Allianz has done really well and that has led to your sustained success in the fixed annuity space.
Yeah, well, thank you for the nice compliment, Jamie. So first, I would like to say that a fixed index annuity is a contract between you and an insurance company. In exchange for the money that you place in your annuity, the insurance company guarantees several benefits, most including a steady stream of retirement income. And because it's designed to help you prepare for retirement, a fixed index annuity provides certain tax advantages as well. So if I had to choose just one innovation, Allianz was the first to offer a fixed indexed annuity with a lifetime withdrawal option that increases every time the client's income or contract earns an interest credit. And once that income goes up, that increase is guaranteed and can never decline. So I'll repeat that. All increases are locked in, and those increases will never go down. Now, this increasing income feature can be included either built in or at an additional cost somewhat known as a rider, depending on the annuity contract. Now, prior to this innovation to the industry, normally fixed annuity income was typically level or flat, and the client would have to earn more than what they took out before they could actually see an increase. As you can infer, right, that creates a situation where people would likely have to rely on other assets to address changes in the cost of living. We at Allianz didn't think that solved any problems. There were far too many retirees that had to lower their standard of living because they were living on a fixed income. So we developed and launched indexed annuities that give clients increases in income every time the contract earned interest, even when they've depleted their contract values. You know, I think many of your listeners can relate to this need, especially now with renewed concerns about inflation. Our research has shown that inflation is now seen as the biggest risk, to retirement plans.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. In fact, that is one of the great, beautiful things about this contract, amongst other things. But I can tell you that in years past, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 20 years ago, when I was using fixed index annuities as a tool to help my clients for lifetime income, I can echo that. The income payments were always flat. Mm-hmm. They were always level. They never went up. Mm-hmm. And with what we've been going through lately with the cost of gas and these other things that are kind of COVID related, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Things are more expensive. And although people may think that it's a temporary thing, it may be something that's here to stay. And I can tell you that my clients, at least, knowing that that income is going to go up, it gives them a lot more peace of mind knowing that they have a plan to deal with inflation.
Absolutely.
And so, yes, planning for inflation while taking an income you want to last for your life is one of the hardest problems in finance. And your increasing income innovation has certainly been helpful for many of those clients that I just referenced. But one of the other innovations I associate with Allianz is the ability to lock in an interest credit in the middle of the year or credit method or credit period. So I'll say that again. One of the other innovations that Allianz has is they have the ability to lock in an interest credit in the middle of the year. They don't have to wait to your anniversary date. And this eliminates the need to wait and see what the end of the year brings in terms of a credit. So talk a little bit about that and how you made that possible for our Allianz customers.
Yeah, we are very excited about bringing index lock capability to the FIA market. As you said, when there is an interest credit available at any point in time during the crediting period, it allows a client or you as the financial professional to lock that in. With most, if not all other fixed index annuities, you have to wait until the end of the contract year or crediting period and leave up to chance what that credit is, right? The index changes, we apply a crediting method, and what you get is what you get. There's no control over that. So we saw the need to give people a level of control over the potential interest that they receive. Now, the reason we were able to make this possible is the experience and the expertise we have in backing the fixed index annuities we develop. Allianz Investment Management, LLC, AIM for short, is actually right in the same building as us in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they provide index hedging services for the Allianz SE companies around the entire globe. And we talked about how big that family is. So not only do we benefit from the experience that AIM has, we've also invested in making it easy for financial professionals and clients to actually use the capabilities we develop. So in the case of Index Lock, you and your client can actually go to their contract on AllianzLife.com, see where the contract is in terms of interest credits, and choose to actually lock in right from our website with the push of a button. It's as easy as that. Look at the smartphones that we use all today, right? There is a lot of complexity behind the capabilities you have with that phone, but the most important thing about that is that they're easy to use. So we've strived to make control over interest credits on our fixed index annuities very, very user-friendly.
Yeah, and I can tell you that a lot of our clients shy away from technology, as they get into retirement. Some are more skilled than others when it comes to the computer and stuff. And I can tell you that being user-friendly is key to the baby boomer segment of the population.
For everybody. Yeah.
So to reiterate, if you have an allocation with a 12-month crediting period and it has the index lock option and say 8 months into the year, the growth is 6% after the participation rate's been applied. For example, and you are concerned the markets may take a downturn, kind of like what we've been experiencing lately, right? You can lock in the 6% growth for that 12-month crediting period.
That is correct. And once you lock it in, that is what your client will earn regardless of what the index does after that. And again, it only takes the touch of a button on our website to do so. No forms, no phone calls, no chasing people down. It's as easy as that.
That's awesome. As you said, Index Lock brings a new level of control to your clients and has really changed the game for fixed index annuities. Hopefully in the future, the competition will kind of get their business up to speed and offer that to their policyholders. But another game changer that Allianz is known for are the volatility controlled indexes that you offer on your fixed index annuities. So every single insurance companies have different proprietary indexes or general ones like the S&P 500. But tell me more about the idea Allianz has behind on their so-called volatility controlled index.
Yeah, great question. So Jamie, as you actually have said on your show in the past, it's important to know if your client is swinging for the fences in terms of interest credits or wanting to hit singles and doubles. So for clients that are looking for a level of protection and want singles and doubles in terms of credits, consistency is key. So with that in mind, we went to index providers looking for options designed to limit volatility and provide more consistency in terms of credits. So typically that is done by the index balancing between equities and bonds to achieve a desired level of volatility. Allianz was one of the first that offered indexes that balance those allocations dynamically on a daily basis. Another one of our innovations. It's also important to note that we were very careful in the volatility controlled indexes we chose to make available. There were index designs that looked at past performances and optimized their construction to show the best possible credits and least volatility based on their knowledge of the past. The technical term that describes this is overfitting. We found that indexes that were overfit tended to be very complex and typically looked really good up to the time the index went live. Basically, the history they based the complex design on didn't necessarily repeat itself. As you can imagine, financial professionals and clients tend to be disappointed when the performance of their index is different than the historical norm that they've seen. So we were very diligent to offer volatility-controlled index options that use widely known market indexes and controlled volatility by allocating between equities and bonds and using principles based on approach rather than basing it on past performance. We've found that this results in actually meeting expectations of our financial professionals and clients a lot more often. So when hitting singles and doubles for clients, you also want to show a realistic batting average and not end up with a batter that tends to strike out more often than you'd expect.
Sure, yeah.
Now, keep in mind that although an external index may affect your contract values, a fixed index annuity contract does not actually invest directly in any equities or fixed investments. You are not buying shares in an index. In addition, no index or crediting method performs best in all market scenarios.
Yeah, and I can tell you that. I mean, I have seen fixed index annuity statements since I first started in this industry in 1997 and 98 when the first generation fixed index annuities came out. And I've seen them kind of evolve over this time period. And I can tell you that not all indexes perform the same. They all kind of are different. But I can tell you, at least speaking for myself as an advisor, my clients have been very happy with the performance of the different indexes that they've had within their Allianz contracts, especially during the volatile times that you talked about. So, that is great. And by the way, many of these features that you described, they come with no additional fee, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So what I've talked about today are some of the common benefits that we offer across several of our fixed index annuities. And as a reminder, that increasing income option I talked about earlier, that can sometimes be built in or sometimes included as a rider at an additional cost. But remember that income is for a client's lifetime. And keep in mind, there are differences between the specific contracts we offer and how they address the unique retirement goals of each client. Some offer more aggressive options to build an income stream. Some offer more when it comes to death benefit for beneficiaries, so on and so forth. But I'd like to say that we have a pretty comprehensive lineup, and that can fit many different client needs. And that's why independent financial professionals like you are so important in helping clients kind of sort through all these different options and find the right contract benefits that actually fit their specific needs.
Yeah, I can tell you, thank you, Rebecca, that was some valuable insight into the world of fixed index annuities and really some of the innovations that Allianz has brought to the market.
Yeah, thank you, Jamie. It's been my absolute pleasure to be on the show, and I hope to be back again.
Yeah, and you know what? We want to thank Allianz's compliance department for the show notes they provided us today to keep us on the straight and narrow. That's always nice. But I can tell you that if you're listening to the podcast right now and you're asking yourself, is a fixed index annuity right for me? Is it something that I should be looking at? It really comes down to your financial goals that you have. If your financial goals are preservation of capital, if your financial goals are lifetime guaranteed income, if your financial goals are increasing income, you want to receive a higher check 5 years from now than maybe you would start with today. Or maybe you're just looking for a wider variety of indexes that can actually perform in the volatile times we're experiencing right now. Or last but not least, if you want a lock-in feature within a contract to where you're like, you know what, in 6, 8, 9 months, maybe the market's at a high and I just want to lock in my gains for fear that the market might kind of tank before my anniversary. All these things, all these goals that I just mentioned are within a Allianz fixed index annuity. And I can tell you probably one of the best parts of it is that some of the products have either zero fee or very nominal fees of 0.95%, which my clients really enjoy. And so it was great having you on, Rebecca. So, like we've heard, annuities have really come a long way from our grandfather's annuity that most people speak about. And, you got to have somebody to help sort through them with you. Thanks for listening to the Cornerstone Retirement Blueprint podcast. If you're interested in learning more about how the contract works, call our office, set an appointment with one of our financial professionals, and we will be able to help you hopefully get to and through retirement. Thanks for joining us, and make sure to go to our website, www.cornerstonevegas.com, for more information about other podcasts and the shows upcoming. Thank you. Thanks, Becca.
Yeah, thank you.
Registered representatives offer securities through Independent Financial Group LLC, IFG, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisor representatives offer advisory services through Independent Financial Group LLC, IFG, a registered investment advisor. Cornerstone Wealth Management, Allianz Life, and IFG are unaffiliated entities. The information and opinions presented are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. You should contact your investment representative, attorney, accountant, or tax advisor with regard to your individual situation. The opinions of the presenter do not necessarily reflect those of Independent Financial Group LLC, its affiliates, officers, or directors.